What's going on, Air Nation? The 20th Airman is here with the Knicks Talks, aka I'm James, and this is a new little series I'm going to add to my channel, implement from the video game aspect, and this is going to be basically talking about my team, the New York Knicks. We got the Carmelo Anthony jersey rocking today because this is the only bright spot I've had since 2013, man. It's been 8 years now, officially. You don't know. It probably will be without Knicks basketball in the playoffs. And it's been definitely a frustrating time to be a Knicks fan. So today I just kind of want to summarize the Knicks so far. We're 5 games into the 2020-2021 season. And there's a lot to talk about this team. Oh gosh. First off, so we just played the Toronto Raptors last night. As I'm recording this, the Knicks officially shot 3 for 36 from 3. 3 for 36. You know what that is? 7%. 7%. The Knicks, coming into this game against the Raptors, they were the number 1 3-point shooting team. You knew that was not going to last, but I didn't think they were going to drop all the way down to 7%. 7%. 7%. Are you serious? I've never seen so many horrible shooters in my life. First off, let's talk about every single Knick specifically. I'll go on with everyone's favorite no-handle, Julius Randle. Julius Randle, yes, before this game against the Raptors, 4 games into the season, I would say he was playing really good for us. He was averaging 27, 10, and 7. But I knew, and everyone else knew, that's a logical and smart Knicks fan, he was not going to keep up this high efficiency pace. It's Julius Randle, for heaven's sake. Tim Hardaway Jr. is averaging 30 points per game as a former Knick, and I know Tim Hardaway Jr., guys, I can't talk. He's a streaky shooter. I knew Randle was going to keep it up, and especially when he got shut down by OG Anunoby, and then when they ran zone, they had no answer. It was one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen when the Knicks were like, oh, we can't get layups when we're in zone. Oh, we have to shoot. Oh, they can't even shoot. It's the most frustrating thing. To me, I think if we keep Julius Randle's value high, which I hope they do, I just don't see him part of the future. I feel like there's a reason why we drafted Obi Toppin, and there's a lot Obi has to do to earn his minutes on this Thibodeau's style team play, which is you got to earn your minutes through the practice, 2, the way you play, 3, through film and the way you go through the whole entire process. And in that way, Obi's got a lot to do. Because Obi, he has a lot of work I've seen so far, and he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to be starting power forward for this team. Because right now, Julius is flat out playing him, but yet Julius is not anything better, I'll be honest. And I hope we trade him at the deadline because I just don't see him as a number 1 option on this team. I'm hearing maybe number 2, number 3. The only realistic scenarios were as if the Knicks were in the playoff hunt, Julius Randle's keeping up this amazing play, which I guarantee we don't. We go after, and I've heard this, and I never will think this will ever happen, James Harden goes to the Knicks because the Nets don't want to trade for him. He goes to the Knicks. He's the number 1 option. He's inserting a defensive scheme like Thibodeau's, and he becomes a franchise player for us, and he'll be our best player since Melo, and he leads to the playoffs, and we have a Julius Randle, James Harden, 1-2 punch with RJ, which is highly unlikely, and that will never happen. The more likely scenario, if we were to trade for someone, maybe Zach LaVine, or in my case, I said Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield, the shooting guard for the Kings, is a lights-out shooter. I would see a perfect fit next to him with someone like RJ Barrett, who's not a shooter. So having a big-time shooter like that, or I've heard people even talking about Duncan Robinson, we offer him a big ton of money in the offseason, the Heat just can't match. I see more of the Buddy Hield aspect. I think Duncan's going to be locked up in Miami. So I feel like Buddy Hield is a more realistic scenario here. Now, who would you trade? I would give up Randle. I would give up Frank. Depending on how he does, I would wait till the deadline. I would maybe do Kevin Knox. But even then, I think Kevin Knox hasn't been playing horrible. Against Toronto, he had 16 points. Didn't shoot the best, but definitely what I took away was his aggressiveness. He had almost 2 posterizers. He had a great and 1 finish. I think he definitely showed a lot more poise out there, and I think definitely he's going to earn his minutes a lot more now. I think he's going to play more. And I think if you try and make a trade for that, I feel like that'll be a big boost to the team. Next up, the number 3 overall pick in 2019's draft, RJ Barrett. Now, RJ Barrett was supposed to be this franchise guy that everyone was going to say he was going to change the franchise around immediately, and he's going to be a bona fide all-star superstar. 2 seasons, or a season, 5 games going in, RJ Barrett frustrates me. Because the one thing that he can't do, which is a highly important thing nowadays, today's NBA, is being able to shoot the basketball. RJ Barrett can't shoot. As I'm recording this, he is on a cold streak from 3. He's shooting 0 for 21 for his last 21 3-point attempts. Yikes. And this is supposed to be a franchise player? RJ Barrett's a good facilitator, can take it to the rim. He has a great physique, body physique even. He has a good take to basketball. His playmaking is alright. But it's frustrating when you have a guy that's supposed to be a franchise player and he can't shoot in his second year. And I thought with having Kenny Payne and all these guys, Mike Woodson coming in, I thought his shooting would be much improved by a little bit, maybe like 35% from 3, above 45% from field. And I feel like his field goal percentage will improve. I just don't see a 3-point percentage improving. In the preseason even, as much as we were talking about he was playing much better, he only shot 18% from 3. Against the Pacers, I thought he was changing around. He was shooting 100% from 3, shot 3 for 3 from the 3-point line, 8 for 8, and then ever since then, after Ben Simmons stone cold him in Game 2, he just hasn't been able to hit a shot, and it was very frustrating when Mike Green's like, man, he can't hit a shot. It's been horrendous to say. I feel like RJ, by next year, he needs to have somewhat of a consistent jump shot because this is getting frustrating to see. This is supposed to be a franchise player. This guy, RJ Barrett, was supposed to be the number 1 pick before the NCAA happened, before 2018-2019 season happened. There was a lot of high hopes. To me, I see him like an Andrew Wiggins. Without being as athletic as Wiggins, in a way, I see him as they're good finishers, but they have subpar to mediocre jump shots. That's why I see it as. Because Wiggins has a really solid finishing game, but his jump shot's never been solid. I mean, it's been alright. I see it the same way as RJ. But that's all I have to say about him. We gotta see how this season turns out by the deadline. I feel like we just need a star, man. I feel like this Knicks team is like, they just need one star to change us around. And that's why we have so many assets now. That I feel like when some player, reportedly from Woj, you don't trust anyone else, but it's Woj, by the way, I hope. When they say a player's available, that's when you go and use your assets and go get someone. Because I feel like we have one of the more assets in the league we can offer them. And if you want to throw in Julius, by all means. So, next up, the one guy that pisses me off, I can't stand watching anymore, is Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock is the definition of a streaky shooter, by any means. He is so streaky. He will start off against Cleveland being red hot. Then against the Raptors starting, I think 0 for 10 it was from the field and 0 for 7 from 3. And then he airballed. And he airballed an open 3. And it was flat out frustrating. This guy is horrible. Why would you keep him? And you talk about you want to be on cheap contracts and save money. Well, Damian Dotson, I'm pretty sure, was $2 million cheaper and a much better shooter and a much better player than Reggie Bullock. Damian Dotson at least plays defense, and he can shoot a basketball over 40% from 3, because I remember 2019, the 2018-2019 season, he was shooting 41% from 3, 11 points per game. That's what Damian Dotson was doing. Reggie Bullock hasn't shot, I believe, over 40% from 3 ever in his career, and he's been in the NBA since, I think, 2014, 2013. Never. I don't know why he's starting. I think you should give the starting small forward position to Kevin Knox. I think Kevin Knox has earned it, as Thibodeau said. And I feel like you would beneficiate much better with Kevin Knox in your starting lineup. Now, what this team lacks is shooting. I feel like when now teams like the Raptors, when they ran a 2-3, a 2-1-2, a 3-2, running all those zones, you need shooting. And that's when Elfrid Payton can't help you. I'm sorry. I think Elfrid Payton's a good backup point guard. I don't see him as a starter. He's just a subpar shooter. He's a decent finisher. He's a solid playmaker. He's a solid defender. But you being able not to shoot is really going to hurt you in the ass. This NBA revolves around shooting. If you can't shoot, you just go into the zone and it just it murders you, man. It doesn't help. So that's when drafting Emmanuel quickly with the 25th pick was something I would call a steal. I say steal because you got apparently a really good point guard who scouts said he wasn't a point guard. He just had to play with Tyrese Maxey and Ashton Higgins. I think Emmanuel quickly, he said he's played point guard throughout his career, throughout when he was growing up. Emmanuel quickly needs to start ASAP. When he comes back from injury, which is very soon, I'm pretty sure next game or so, he's going to be coming back. Start him. He'll break down the zone. He can shoot. I like what I see from him when I watched him during the preseason. I think he would beneficiate well being with Kevin Knox and RJ. Power forward, Obi Toppin maybe. I want to see Obi. I feel like Obi has a lot more upside than Julius, but it's probably going to be Randall for now. We'll see how that turns out. And then Mitch. And the thing about Mitch is, I don't know why people think he's untouchable. I think he's just a really solid starting center that can block some shots, give you second chance opportunities, play defense. And what I see, like a good player comparison, is if he puts on muscle, Tyson Chandler. Same players, tip backs, second chance opportunities, hustle on defense, good wingspans. And I feel like that would be a solid comparison right there. Nothing above doing like a Rudy Gobert. No Joel. I don't hear Joel Embiid I've heard before. None of that. Solid center, maybe Clint Capella, JaVale McGee, and that's really it. But the thing that I want to take away from this team is role players. Alec Burks is one player that I would like to keep unless you get offered really good draft picks. But I feel like we should try to get him back because players that can shoot and be good role players for his team are very important nowadays. And having a good six-man like Alec Burks for the right price, if we can bring him back, I would definitely try to do so. Unless, as I said, you got a really good lottery pick and you flip him away to a contender or whoever. I feel like this Knicks team doesn't know who's really going to be a part of the future. To me, the people that I don't want back are Dennis Smith. I don't want Reggie back. Hopefully we flip Randall for a high price. Noel, he's okay backup. He's nothing special. Maybe let him go. Frank just frustrates me. I don't feel like Frank's part of the future. Yes, his defense is important, but he's not like an untouchable player. Like, if he goes, he goes. I could care less. Knox, we got to see how he does the third year. I'm going to give him time. Reggie Bullock's got to go, hands down. And Alfred, I don't want this team. I'd rather see Austin Rivers. Even after one game, he can shoot. His playmaking is solid enough. I feel like he'd be okay, Austin Rivers. And I just like the dynamic when him or Emmanuel quickly is the point guard. It's when Alfred, when they run the zone, it's just not like good. It's not good basketball to see, and it's a very mediocre play from the Knicks. So quickly or Rivers, I'm cool with that. The point guard. RJ, he needs to develop a shot. Kevin Knox needs to start. Obi, it's got to earn his minutes if he wants to outstar over Randall. I don't know what they're going to do with Randall. And it's just a very frustrating time being a Knicks fan right now. Me being a freshman in college, haven't seen the Knicks make the playoffs since I was in 5th grade. And that's been, to me, one of the hardest things to see when your team hasn't made the playoffs for about 8 years now. And we don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. Even with the format, I don't know with this team. A lot of credit to Coach Tibbs for them playing hard on defense. I like their scheme. It's just that you need shooters and you need playmakers. And I feel like the point guard is going to hurt us a lot. And when the going gets tough, it's just the Knicks, when they're cold, it gets real ugly. And I wish we trade for a guy like Chris Paul, who would have been a great mentor for RJ even. He would have been great for the young guys. He would have helped people accountable. And I feel like this Knicks team would have a sense of direction with Chris Paul. And I know about the contract, but who are you going to get? No one's going to come here. I think I go for it. And I felt like we should have made that move if we had the opportunity. Because I felt like we had more assets than the Suns that we could have offered for Chris Paul. But, yeah, guys, this is my take on the Knicks. This is going to be my little series I'm going to have on my YouTube. I'm hopefully going to implement some more episodes soon. This is a very tough time to be a Knicks fan. And I don't know what this team's going to do next. I don't know what their plans are. I don't know what Leon Rose has in store. This is going to be an interesting season, to say the least. What's going to happen with the young guys? What the heck is going to happen to the veterans? And let's all hope Reggie Bullock gets away, because I can't see that guy start small forward anymore. He plays solid defense, but that's it. So if you guys haven't done so already, please subscribe. It takes you less than 5 seconds, man. Help the algorithm out. I appreciate all the support. Hopefully to grow this YouTube. Hopefully to grow this series. And this is going to be one interesting season, to say the least. Hope everyone had a great New Year's. Hope everyone's staying safe and well. And Air Nation, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.